Good morning everybody. For 10th standard, today our topic will be turgor pressure. Now this is in continuation of the chapter on absorption through root and ascent of sap. Here we are going to study more details about turgor. I told about turgor pressure in the last class. Now turgor pressure is developed in a confined plant cell or in an animal cell or in the osmotic system due to the osmotic entry of the water. So that means when you put a cell in a hypotonic solution, generally the water flows from outside to inside. The cell sap is at a higher concentration and the water moves due to osmotic pressure inside the cell. Now we know that the osmotic pressure or what we call osmotic potential is psi s, which is also equivalent to the solute potential, and the turgor pressure we define as a pressure potential which is psi p or hydrostatic pressure that develops. Now in a fully turgid cell we say the psi p is equal to psi s. That means the hydrostatic pressure which is developed inside the cell or in the cell's sap, that is equal to the osmotic pressure. That means both equal. Osmotic pressure is equal to the turgor pressure. This is in a fully turgid cell. Now this turgor pressure also is of significant of various significance it has in the living cell membrane. Like in plant movement, you have seen that sysmonasty, what we call, there are certain types of plant which exhibit plant movements, like say in Mimosa pudica we have a sysmonasty. Now that is because of the difference in the turgor pressure, or the stomatal movement in case of the stomata in the plant cell in the leaf, that is also controlled by the turgor pressure. Autochory, in some plants usually automatic the dispersal of seed, that is what we call the explosive mechanism by automatic methods, that is also due to the development of the turgor pressure. Now turgidity also helps in the cell, in a plant cell, to it helps in like maintaining the what you call the pressure, and that is what you call mechanical strength in the plant. Now the next point, next topic is active water absorption. Now active water absorption is seen in some plants. Generally they involve energy. The movement of the water that takes place against the gradient of the solution. That means generally from any substance moves from say the solvent moves from the higher concentration of solvent to the lower concentration of the solvent. Now sometimes the water has to move. Now that movement is usually controlled by certain hormones like auxins. This enhances the rate of absorption, or it can be inhibited also. Certain types of metabolic poisons like respiratory poisons can also inhibit the absorption of water through active process. Now this active water absorption also helps in development of a bioelectric potential, or what we call an active pumping. Now usually what we say, the active transport is usual of water. That means the water is moved from a less concentrated water concentration to higher concentration. Now when you have to move this water, there is expenditure of energy. Like active transport is found in case of solute also. There also you involve energy. Now the third point is root pressure, which is also a manifestation of the turgor pressure. Now root pressure we can exhibit by a plant whose stem has been cut off at a particular region. The upper part of the plant is not there, only the root is there. The root is inside this well-watered potted plant. It is connected by a rubber tubing to a manometer. Now we can see here that after some time the initial level of the mercury in the manometer is this. If it is kept for some time, in a normal condition we see the mercury level rises on the column this side and goes downward in this side. Now this is because of the continuous inflow of water from the stomach. Now here there is no shoot there, or all the other activities stop, but still the water is pumped by the root here. So that is what we call that rigidity also helps in root pressure that is developed in the xylem element, but it is not a universal truth. It has been seen in gymnosperms. We do not have this type of root pressure. Now the significance also, like in ascent of sap, it helps. There are certain other theory like the vital force theory by Jesse Bose, the cohesion adhesion theory of Dixon and Jolly, or the transpiration pull. Now these two are not that much in 10th standard level. We are going to know about transpiration pull. Now in transpiration pull, the continuous movement of water through the leaves of the aerial part of the plant creates a suction force in the xylem. Thank you very much. Important factor which helps in the ascent of sap, the transpiration of water from the aerial part of the plant. This creates a suction force in the xylem elements which helps in the continuous flow of water from the root towards the leaf. Now we are going to see that in how it takes place in the root. This is a cross section of the root. This is a cross section of dicot root. Okay, so if you cut the root in a section, that means suppose this is the section of the root, we are seeing a portion of the root. This portion we are seeing. So you can see the root here. The outer layer is the epidermis, this is the cortex, then you have the endodermis, then pericycle, then this is the xylem, the protoxylem and the metaxylem. In between you have the phloem bundles. Now the water moves through the root here by imbibition, osmosis and diffusion. Here it passes through the cortical cells in the cell-to-cell osmosis till the endodermis, and from the endodermis it passes through the passage cell into the xylem, and from the xylem it is flowed upward. So this much we will know about today. Next class we will continue this part.